Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher of Realms. Today I'm joined by Dr. D's, the man, the myth, and the legend. And today we're going to be going over the best marksman in certain categories. That's going to be best penetration, the highest damage, the best utility, the most unique, and most used. Anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright guys, first thing on the agenda is going to be calling out Dr. D's channel. This channel is flourishing. You can see he's all the way up to 8.61k subscribers, but a lot of you already know that. Dr. D's, how are you doing, my man?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, Prospector. Let's do this.
No problem, man. No problem, man. Guys, if you haven't already, head over to D's channels, Dr. D's, Watcher of Realms, and hit that subscribe button. He's always putting out good content, doing a lot of free takeovers for members only, and kicking out a lot of new videos. And anyways, so how we're going to do this is we have 5 categories to go over. We're going to start with me going first. On the first one, he's going to go second on the second or the first one, and then we're going to flip that around and go the other way. Either we agree and we'll go over the hero a little bit, see why, or we're not going to agree and then we would just fight like, you know, cats and dogs until we figure out which one is the actual top dog here. Little hint, it's the top dog. Anyways, so best penetration hero. I think this one is pretty easy for the most part, but there is a lot of good penetrating heroes in this game, especially the marksman category. But I think that we're gonna agree on this one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be Silas. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's what I had as my penetration unit. When it comes to straight up damage off the ultimate, I mean, he could crack through anything. Just that extra damage. You do have to have him bonded, but once you have him bonded, he is good to go, locked in. One of the biggest booty clappers inside of the game, and it's all because of that ultimate.
Alright, during the effective shadow click, soul sniping deals 100% extra damage from the bond, and then with soul sniping in general, he's ignoring 50% of the damage. And what do we have? The damage increases by 60% during the ultimate. He doesn't have a lot of attack, but he has a lot of range, and because he's ignoring so much defense, you can build more crit damage on him. And I would say people are just putting him down and taking out bosses, taking out elites really quickly, and picking him back up and doing something else with their time. Now, I have a question for you, and I actually kind of pre-planned this because I already knew that you were gonna pick Silas. What if he's not bonded? Do you still feel the same as far as, you know, like that A0 unbonded Silas going down and taking out enemies? And how do you feel about him then? Still the same, or?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. He definitely, he wouldn't even be in the top 5 for penetration if he didn't have that bond skill.
I think I agree. I remember Silas is like an OG unit, so when I first started playing, you know, eventually I got a Silas, and I'm like, man, this guy kind of sucks. And that was all because he didn't have the bond skill unlocked, and it made a massive difference. Back then we were trying to shoot for 50k in Guild Boss 1 Nightmare 4, and I still couldn't reach it. And I'm like, okay, yes, I got Silas, and yeah, it didn't really help that much. Honestly, it did not happen. All right, since we agree with that one, and I went first on the first one, I want you to do the second one going first here. And I know we're not going to agree, so we can probably fight like cats and dogs. So go ahead.
Okay, so highest damage, I went with Lady A. Only because she is one of the, actually she's arguably the best marksman in the game. She can hit with the, I think that's the ability right there. Is that the ability? Where she
I think
can
it's
hit from
chasing
anywhere?
shadow here.
Yeah, chasing shadow. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have her yet. I'm still working to get her, but in terms of damage, maybe not. In terms of overall damage, she's definitely got to be the highest, and that's because she can hit anyone, right? In GVG, she absolutely claps. anti-air arena. If you want to make it far and Overlord, make it to that apex, you kind of going to need to have yourself a Lady A.
And how do you feel about the awakenings? Do you feel like any are necessary to really unlock that, you know, top G kind of feeling coming out of Lady A?
I'm sure they are, but I have no clue. I'm not going to sit here and BS you like, I have no clue. I don't have her. I never test her out. I don't have her awakenings. Okay. I've never looked at them. So maybe not. I'm assuming so though. I'm assuming so.
You did mention the Chasing Shadow, which is going to be that hitting targets anywhere. And that A1 does increase its Chasing Shadow damage by 20% against targets if they have Radiant Erosion, which I think, if I remember correctly, when she chases, she also inflicts Radiant Erosion, if I remember correctly. I don't remember though, but I just got her recently, and I gave her 1 stone, and I used her to unlock Gear Raid 3, 24, and then, gonna be honest with you, that's what I did with her. that's about it. She just said Gear Raid 3, 24. I like Yuri more in an anti-air arena. She is very competitive as well, but I got an A3 Yuri, so I use her instead. And I'm a big fan of that little furball. All right.
So is that who?
My highest damage that I went with is Hex. And
okay.
So here's my thinking, right? You know, you're kind of right there with like Lady A doing as much damage as she's doing, and I'm taking this guy into guild boss or against bosses and elites and stuff, and just for the longest time he was really the only other hero when Kagiri came out competing with Kagiri's damage. So you'd have Kagiri up there in the, you know, 350 whatever 400 million range damage that he does, and you have Hex in there just right behind him sitting at 300 350. But there's a few caveats, and the first big one is going to be the A5, and the second big one is going to be that exclusive artifact that he has.
Oh yeah. And
for the longest time, he was like my favorite hero in the game for a long time. So I mean, until Kagiri came out, I just like the character a lot, and he does a load of damage when he hits. Man, it's delete button. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I mean, when we're talking and pure, see, it's a little. I mean, you do need his artifact for him to really unlock his true booty clappage, and it's arguably the best artifact. It doesn't do more for a hero. How should I word this? This artifact, it doesn't do more for a hero exclusively than what Hex's artifact. You know where I'm going with this, right?
I do,
Hex's
yeah,
artifact is one of the best. And you know, in terms of damage, I agree. I just thought it was, you know, I was thinking in terms of overall highest damage. I just think that Lady A would have the edge just because she could reach those hard to reach places, and she's getting that extra damage, and she comes with a little some extra. But if they're in Hex's range, I mean, shoot, it's like he just melts everybody. And also his A3, I really like his A3.
His A3,
when he's hitting the target. Yeah, he just keeps restoring his rage. It's an amazing A3 ability.
Full uptime ultimate during boss fights and stuff. Especially if you're cycling Laurel or something, he's just going full time, just pounding away. Yeah, so this is one of the things why I like doing these kind of videos is, you know, I'm obviously more of like a boss challenger. I like to take on like Abyss 1, you know, Belial, and then, you know, Matrix and stuff like that. The D spends a lot more times in the gear raids and the gear dungeons and those other kind of stages. And those are a niche that he definitely has me beat at. I would definitely announce that and say that for now, because he does all these takeovers for you guys, the viewers, and he just knows strategies that are very unorthodox. So thinking of somebody like Lady A, you know, I'm thinking Hex, okay, I'm gonna put him on one target and we're gonna maximize his damage. Well, Deez is thinking like, okay, well, I want to put him on a field, on a stage somewhere, and see like how much overall damage they're gonna do. And it's definitely a different kind of perspective, and that's why I like doing these videos. The next one, I think you went first on that one, right? So I'm gonna go first on this one. Best utility. And I think that when, you know, we were setting this up, we kind of agreed that this is a weird one for Marksman. It wasn't very hard for defenders or fighters, but it is definitely a weird one for Marksman, but there is a few options. But I'm gonna give it to Vorn. And yeah, he's a weird one, right? So he's putting out the poisons, and he's also offering that shield break, right? And the shield break is the reason that I want to give it to him, because he's going to increase damage dealt to shielded targets by 30% for 2 allied fighters. And if you awaken him a little further, it goes our awaken level 1, he gives it 3 allied fighters. And then he's a good support DPS for Numera and the Abyss 1 ESO team. So again, we're going to like that boss like kind of thing. Like I like him because of the boss deal here. So how do you feel about Vorn being my pick for best utility?
I actually like that. I think I like that better than the one I picked. I didn't even think of Vorn.
It's a weird one.
I think his utility is really good. Yeah. I think his utility is really good for the shield break.
Yeah, I had a different one selected, and then I was like, wait a second, what about like Vorn? You just put him on the field, and he helps you with so many shield breaks. You know, it's a boss thing, but yeah, he's definitely going to be very useful. It just gets better and better as you awaken him too. His awakenings are pretty solid, you know, nothing too crazy. What was your pick for the best utility?
Best utility, I had Hex, so I went the opposite direction of what you had. It's mainly because of everything that comes into his kit, right? He's got burning. He's also got here I go. What was the other things that he has? There's the Joker cards. Shoot, there was another. Oh, stun. He does stuns. I think he has somewhere where he could slow down the units as well. He also comes with the invisibility. He's just got a lot of utilities in his kit. And when I was thinking utilities, like Prospector said, it's a little it was a little bit of a weird subject, because I was thinking, okay, utility, who am I going to think? So I had to think long and hard about this a whole 2 minutes. That I would have had, and I chose Hex because I would have had to chose Hex because you know, he's got a lot of utilities. You know, when we're talking utilities, who does it better than Hex? Maybe Vorn, but you know, hey, Vorn, Hex, I'd put both of them in the top.
Yeah, I agree. He's got very good utility. The stun is very nice, especially in like your dungeon. What is that? 2, right? Top side there, stunning that stuff coming in. You take care of it without even getting a chance to come in. The vocal clones. He also has that Twilight Bond skill, which doesn't really come into play with bosses much, but he can gain an additional shield equal to 40% of attack for 10 seconds. When Fate the Hermit is triggered, Twilight is on the field, reduces the hex cost by 4 as well. So this makes a big difference and makes him very useful. And being able to take him out really fast and do some big damage. Yeah, I think that I could see Hex being really good utility. I mean, he even has strong CC as one of his labels here. So yeah, definitely. I like your pick. All right, and you are next up for going first, and that's going to be the most unique Marksman. Who do you have? When you think most unique, there's a lot of different options, right? There's a lot of unique heroes. Hatsu's really unique, right? She's got that range. She's got that AoE. You could use her. She's got versatility. She's very unique. You know, that was the first hero that came to my mind. But then I was like, let me take it down a notch. When I'm talking unique, I'm talking someone that is the most useless hero in the game, and he's also very unique because of how useless he is. I'm talking about my guy Cratch, man. I'll never stop ragging on Cratch until they give this man a buff, bro.
Never!
I understand there's got to be bad heroes in the game, but this man's been bad for so long. Everyone gets so sad when they pull a Cratch, like, oh my god, I just got a Cratch. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, when we're thinking unique, you know, you didn't specify what kind of unique it was. So I went with unique bad. He's uniquely bad. He's also got a unique range.
He's got...
Go ahead and maximize it.
Oh my god, he's got a range. It is a scuffed off Ajax range is what that is, and it's really bad. I don't know what they're thinking with that. I will agree, this guy is uniquely the worst marksman in the game. I think that might even be over a lot of the epics. Maybe all the epics. There's some bad epics too, and I think I've still put him below them.
Yeah.
You want to talk
Also-
about unique?
also-
What about this misfire here? You know, you use your ultimate and it punishes you for using the damn thing. Isn't that great?
Yep.
Like,
And then on top of that, he's not part of the Piercer faction.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, if he was, I always thought that too. Like, I remember originally thinking that, like, if he was, you know, you could pull this out.
Get that extra range. Yeah.
You get that a
Be a
tile
little more
ahead.
interesting.
Even if it was
Yep.
just the front three, you know, that would be pretty cool, actually. Nope, he's part of the Watcher faction only. And I remember, so a lot of that Cratch hate, you know, where that came from is because, like, early on, we had those buckets of heroes with different rarities that they had, and they kind of got rid of that and equalized that more now. But they would have heroes in, like, the easy to pull bucket, the medium to pull bucket, or the rare bucket, whatever. Fasty kind of did a whole thing on this, and it was great. The whole community came together to figure it out. But heroes like Cratch, we would pull him all the time because his rate for pull was higher. But then, you know, any of the good heroes like Silas or something was in that rare bucket, which is like a whole 2% or 3% harder to roll.
Hot suit too.
Hot suit was really, yeah, hot suit was like one of the rarest ones, I think. Yeah, so I mean, that was one of the reasons it got so upsetting for people, because everybody would A5 their Cratch. And for me, it wasn't Cratch. It was, I only have like an A2 Cratch actually, but I have like an A9 Aurum. You know, so it was the same deal. You know, he's just as crappy on the other end. Maybe a little bit more useful. I don't know. I think so. I think he's a little bit better than Cratch even, but yeah, I totally, I get it. I get where you're coming from with the Cratch. Nice call out, nice shout out that Moonton buffed this little bugger.
No means no, Bill Cosby.
Do something. Oh, the other big problem here, I want to just, we can just keep, the list goes on and on.
His cost.
Cost is 22.
Yeah.
Who's gonna wait to 22 to pull this guy out? If he was 10, maybe I'd consider using him somewhere or trying to stick him into some kind of strategy. But at 22, I can't even. When are you gonna pull him out? When the map is already done? Like, you know, you can't wait that long, man. It's too long. All right. Most unique for me. You're gonna like this one because I know it's one of your top favorite heroes, and I'm gonna give this one to Talon. And
Yes.
you had to have some fun with your Cratch pick, and I'm gonna back you up with the Talon here. So we're gonna put her on the field here. The reason I'm giving her most unique is her ability to do damage, her ability to tank, and the fact that she does both ground tiles and platform tiles as well. So you can use her as just a normal marksman, or you can tank with her, and I think that's a double unit. Pulling this hero early on is game changing. It just is. You know, you have a tank and you have a DPS, whatever you want her to be. You level up one hero, skill her out, good to go. That's pretty much all I really have to say about her. She's really cool. You're the pro on Talon, so why don't you go ahead and maybe add a few more details I might have forgot. I'm sure I did.
I mean, you basically covered it. She's got that dispel as well for Semra, which is nice, right?
Dispel, yeah.
She dispels for the phase 2. But you know, the fact that she could go in bear form, she could tank. She's very tanky. She's also a booty clapper. You know, she does good damage. She's part of 2 big booty clapping factions. We're talking Piercer and Watcher, 2 of the best factions of the game. So you know, she's got it all, man. She's got it all. And you know, Talon's about that life. I love that pick for most unique. She is definitely most unique. No one else could go as a tank and a marksman. So that alone makes her unique.
The only one in the whole game. You could almost probably press her to be most unique just in general, not just the marksman, but overall.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think that covers that. Now,
and I will add that you can make a case for my guy Cratch being most unique in the whole game too.
yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is.
Like for trash.
Yeah, Cratch trash. Oh man,
Cratch trash.
Hashtag Cratch trash. That's what you should do. Hard to say though. It's not too. Yeah, it's catchy though. All right, most used, and I believe you're up first, right? I think so.
I'm up first. So,
all right.
This was a tough one for me because it was between 3 units, arguably 5. I had 5 in mind, which was, Hatsu, Silas. I had Hex in mind, and I also had Talon in mind. Those are probably my most used when it comes to marksman. Guys like Vorn, I only used him for Abyss. That's it. That's the only area I used him in. I was going over each one. I was really trying to think really long and hard. And this time I took a whole 3 minutes, And when I thought of this, I was like, you know what? It's such a hard, because we're going off of what's my most used. And every time I do a marksman team, I would always use Yovar. So I was like, let's throw Yovar in there. Sometimes I'm not using Silas. Sometimes I'm not using Hatsu, even though Hatsu's not part of the Piercer faction. But if I'm ever using a marksman team, I'm always using Yovar. Very rarely am I going to choose Araka over Yovar, just because of what Yovar brings to the table, Lord skill wise, and also what he brings to the table with his in terms of damage. I mean, you put him in a Hell's set and this guy takes off. He's an absolute beast. Love me some Yovar, but most used just because he's got the Lord skill. I went with Yovar.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. The piercing vision 3 there, I think it's a total of 45% after a minute of being on the field. Like, all the marksmen just get that straight up damage boost, and that's really what he's all about too. And it's fast burst damage whenever he uses his ultimate. He's also good at getting the stacks of Soulbound Arcana going up. One other thing that I could note about Yovar is that his awakenings are extremely valuable. Up to the A3 is really where the big mark is. Victorious Pursuit, just extra 5 seconds of pounding on somebody. And then the A1, but the BP for GBG is also, I think he's the best BP GBG hero in the game, isn't he? I think he's the highest.
Is he?
Because I think so. I think because, well, it would be Uridan, but because Yovar is a lord, he gets an extra whatever percentage, I believe. And if I'm misspeaking, go ahead and correct me in the comment section. That's fine. I think the A5 Yovar, totally decked out, man, is the best for your GVG or demons there. But
that makes sense. That makes sense because he's actually above my Ingrid, and he's also above my Praetus when I do GVG, and he's actually only A2, whereas my Ingrid's A3. They're like kind of similar, whereas my Praetus is A5, and he's kind of right up there with Yovar. I mean, they're all relatively the same, but Yovar's got the edge on them, and Yovar's only A2.
Yeah, yep, that makes sense. But he goes up. I think he tops out. So mine is A2 right now, and he's sitting at like a 123k, and Uridan sits right around somewhere between 130 and 140 range, but that's like at the A5. And I think it would just be really competitive. I could be wrong that Uridan does do better, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I could pull up the website, but we're good. Oh, Bubba, yes, Bubba's another good one. Yeah, he definitely is. So I battled with this one as well, just like you were saying, and I would say that Yovar is absolutely up there, just because we have all the marksmen. We're bringing these piercers. If we're gonna bring piercers in, we take it down to this category. I mean, usually the first one that's gonna go on the field or on your team is gonna be Yovar, right? But I decided to give it to Silas again, and my Silas is A3. He's never been really high awakening compared to all the other heroes that I have, but usually he's been A1 for a very long time. But Void Rift, guild bosses for a longest time, any new stages, any new bosses that I'm not really aware of, I just feel comfortable putting them down wherever I can and just blasting away. And you kind of mentioned some like honorables there a little bit. I want to go ahead and cover Hatsu because I don't think you could have a tier list about marksmen in this game without talking about Hatsu, right? Probably one of the best progression heroes you could pick up. You put her down, she's putting out decreased defense when she's bouncing her shots, the defense reduction here. And that ghastly burst is just destructive and so useful. On top of all that, she's invisible. I mean, I can't really think of a better hero for a lot of content. Kind of reminds me of somebody like Boreas as a mage or something, like maybe he's not the best mage, but as far as a progression hero, he's up there, you know. You get Berace, you're gonna be happy. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna stick with it. You got 2 positions of Silas on as the best for me. And I think he deserves it, honestly. I think he deserves it. But Yovar,
He's good.
I gotta hand it to you. He's gonna be the most used, you know, because he's gonna be on your team. But anyways, unless you have anything else you want to throw in there, I think we completed our list.
Yeah,
Good
no,
to go?
that's good. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem, man. Anyways, guys, I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you go and check out Dr. D's channel. Leave him a sub and check out his content. Watch his live streams. He's a hell of a lot of fun to hang out with and watch play some Watch Your Realms. But anyways, I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.